then I'm just gonna go watch a movie.
What it do, guys? It's your boy Chulo Brown, and on today's video I'm gonna just go over the last 5 movies I watched on Netflix. So let's jump right into this action. The first movie I'm going to talk about is I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. This movie was written and directed by Macon Blair, and it was released February 24th, 2017 in limited theaters, but it's mostly a Netflix movie. The genre is drama/mystery. The runtime is about 96 minutes. It starts Melanie Lynskey from 2.5 Men and Elijah Wood from The Lord of the Rings. On Rotten Tomatoes, it got an 88%, but I'm going to say this is a 3 out of 5 for me because I laughed and I kind of enjoyed the gritty, dark nature of this film. So, if you haven't seen it, I suggest you get to Netflix and you watch this as soon as possible, homies. The next movie that I watched was Bright. It was released on December 22nd, 2017. Just like the other movie, it's a straight to Netflix movie, but it did come out in limited theaters. It's not rated, at least not on Netflix. Maybe when it came out in theaters it was. The runtime is 1 hour, 57 minutes. It's a little on the long side, but it's very entertaining. It's a drama, and like I said, it's entertaining. It has a few laughs and chuckles peppered in across the whole movie. It's directed by David Ayer, the guy that brought you Suicide Squad and End of Watch, and you could feel those influences throughout the whole movie. It stars Will Smith from Bad Boys and Joel Edgerton from The Great Gatsby. It got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, but for me this was a 3 out of 5. I like the whole aspect of the fairy tale world coming in with modern life, and that has been this way for thousands upon thousands of years. So again, if you haven't been able to watch this movie, get to Netflix and just binge on it, because you gonna like it. You gonna like it. The next movie I'm going to talk about is 1922. The release date on this one was October 20th, 2017. Just like the other movies on this list, it had a limited run in theaters. It's not rated, at least not on Netflix. The genre for this movie is drama/mystery, and the runtime is 101 minutes. It was written and directed by Zach Hilditch. It stars Tom Jane from The Punisher and Molly Parker from The Wicker Man. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie got an 86%. For me, this was actually a 4 out of 5. It's a really good story. Stephen King does a great job with this story. The only thing is it had some visual shit for me that didn't quite make it to 5 out of 5. But it's still a really good movie to watch. It's a great story. If you haven't seen it, get to Netflix and stream that shit now. Now, these last 2 movies, I'm not going to tell you to get high, but I would recommend you stimulate your mind before viewing them. The next movie I'm going to talk about is Where's the Money? Okay, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces on this. You're going to see people you know from Vine and YouTube. And that's all this movie really feels like, is like it belongs on YouTube. It had a release date of October 20th, 2017. It had a run in limited theaters. It was rated R and had a runtime of 86 minutes. This movie was directed by Scott Sibilski. It stars Andrew Batchelor. You may know him from Meet the Blacks or from Vine. And Kat Graham. You know her from All Eyes on Me. There's no rating in Rotten Tomatoes for this movie, but for me it was a solid 2 out of 5. I mean, you do have Terry Crews and Mike Epps also starring in this, but
even those two comedic actors can't hold this movie together, and it just feels like a 90-minute sketch that belongs on Vine or on YouTube, because Vine only gave you like 6 seconds. But don't expect too much from this movie. But like I said, some people might like it just because of the cast. They might like those kind of people. I personally didn't like it that much. I gave it a shot. It just wasn't for me, but I'm just gonna recommend it out there for whoever likes those people. Go ahead and give this movie a try. Now, the last movie that I'm gonna talk about is Take the 10. The release date on this was January 13th, 2017. It had a run in limited theaters and it was not rated. Somehow they call this movie a comedy, but to me, it didn't even like stir up a chuckle. Alright, the runtime's about like an hour and a half, give or take a few minutes. It was written and directed by Chester Tam. He also plays in the movie and he does a pretty good job. It stars Josh Peck from Drake and Josh and Tony Revolori from the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Alright, it had no rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but for me, this right here is a 1.5 stars out of 5. It was a horrible movie in my opinion. It just seems like they took the character from Drake and Josh, like Josh Peck's character, and put him in this movie. He just tries to get a laugh forcefully, and it just doesn't do it for me. I even got high before this movie, and that didn't even help. I'm just mentioning it on here because somebody out there is a fan of these two people and they might like the movie. And if anybody actually does see the movie, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, because for me, like, it just wasn't cutting it. This movie should have never been a thing. But alright, that's all the time we have. I'll keep on watching movies and I'll let you know what I think of them here on this channel. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next flick.